you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. But before we go ahead and start, this is recorded in 4K. I was able to tweak a little bit of the settings and make those icons bigger. So last video, it was on the 4K monitor, but not in 4K. Today, it is in 4K. So hopefully everybody can see everything great. I have noticed, obviously, that the mass icons are small. I don't think that changed with the setting that I messed with. So again, any other tips to help improve with that? Oh, I also noticed that the text is over there. Let me move that down. There we go. And besides that, I think we are good to go. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with the frontline player of Team 1 in Amethyst Purple. Those are very small letters. I do apologize. That is Dremelkuss going first land as a Seraphim. He is a 1629 player here on Team 1 or Blue Team. In the Northeast, we have Seal Force going as another Seraphim here for Team 1. He is a 1760. And again, he is in Stitch Blue going first land. And last but not least, in the I guess the rear guard slot, we have Gingerbread Man going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1923 rated player going first land, second air in Royal Blue. So for Team 1 or Blue Team, we have 2 Seraphim, 1 Aeon, no UEF, and no Cybrans for Team 1. In the Southeast, starting up with the rear guard air slot here for Team 2, it is Kavat going first land, second air as an UEF. He is a 1931 rated here in this game. Highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall, just by 8 points, beating Gingerbread Man out just by a smidgen. And to the Northeast, we have the Ruby Red player here for Nomander. He's going first land, second air, third and fourth Navy. He is an 1845 rated, and he is a Cybran. And last but not least, in the middle of the map here for Team 2, it is Please, and yes, it is Please, not Please with an L, but it is Please with a W going first land, second land, and third air. He is a 1378 rated player. He is an orange, the color orange, and again, he is an Aeon. So for Team 2 side of things, they have the original 3, or the OG 3, a UEF, a Cybran, and an Aeon. No Seraphim Tech here for Team 2. Let's take a look at the reclaim here. It's currently still on the map. And for a 3x3 game for 6 players, oh man, that icon does not look good over there in that corner. Anyway, it's at 8,000 mass, so about 1,000 or so, probably about 1,200 mass per player, which is a decent amount of mass to scoop up, especially in a, it's not even a 20x20, not even probably a 15. It's probably like a 13 or 14x14 map. Take a look at the mass points here. We do see a couple of armors en route here from Team 1's Dremelkuss. We do see a Trimex position up here on this upper plateau. Dual mechs here in the east. And honestly, not really a whole lot of other mass points. There are more mass here on the Team 1 and Team 2 side of the map for their mainland mass. But in the middle, maybe these two in the middle will be fought over. Maybe that's really about it. We do see Team 2's Please actually gifting over everything that he owns to Nomander. I don't know if he had to go. I will try to be back. Pants? Don't know what he's talking about in reference to that, but something about pants. We do see that bomber in the east going after some T1 Pigeons. It does look like Team 2's Nomander does have a T2 Mechs already online. Does target that Pigeon once again, going for that central one that it's getting some adjacency to both the air facility and the ground facility, land facility, but does get shot down by an interceptor. But again, at any point in the game, please let me know down in the comments how the video quality is, how the audio quality is, how the visual representation of the game is in terms of text and all of that. This little panel to the left might warrant some more investigation. I'm recording a second video today as well, so that will probably be there in that video. It's not too egregious, but it's not great. This one's fine. It's just this one up here. But anyways, we do see a couple of interceptors here moving around. There are a group of interceptors going after this bomber here in the west here for Team 2's Kavat. Don't know where he was going. Don't see any sort of kills on the northwest side of things. No, it does look like the bomber came in and was shot away by the interceptors. The interceptors going after a transport that drops off a couple more engineers here for Cabat. He is fully expanding here on this upper plateau. There are bombers en route, and it does look like one will drop. The engineer trying to get out of range does get killed there, and Puis, again, just hiding in the middle of the map here. I am going to try to, again, investigate the text size, because I can't read that, obviously, because it's really small. Probably everybody else watching from their phone or TV or monitor or whatever you're watching it on definitely can't read that. You can definitely read it on the right side of things, and I don't know if it'll show up on the recording, but it does look, the text is a little bit bigger. I haven't changed any of the font size or anything. Maybe it's just because it's in 4K, it makes it look a little differently. But anyways, again, please, 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 I'm trying to make the recordings the best I can in terms of quality, in terms of, you know, entertaining and all of that. So at any moment, you're like, I don't like the way that looks, or this is, oh, there's a setting that you can, you know, use to fix this thing. Please let me know down in the comments. I have, again, the icon sizes for all the units for the comms are at 200%. And the UI is also at 200%, so it's maxed out in that regard. So if there's any way to max out the text and the mass points, at least to make the mass points a little bit bigger, so at least I can see them, and everybody else, you know, watching on, you know, their devices can see them as well. But please let me know down in the comments. And again, thank you for being patient with me as I kind of tweak all of these settings. And the day you're watching this, I think it's going to be on a Thursday or Friday. So the tomorrow's video will be the last video that will be not pre-recorded, but essentially built up in my queue before I come back from the cruise. So right now I am currently on my way home, and so this would be on Saturday, yeah. So this will be released on Saturday. And I'm on my way home, and then tomorrow's video, which is Sunday's video, I will be back. But I don't have enough time on Saturday to record because I get back so late at night. We do see no matter, and by the way, sorry for being distracted by all of that stuff, but we do see Team 1's Drill Mechs pushing forward here on the middle lane, the only real lane, I should say. The Navy side of things is kind of going back and forth. One T1 sub pushing back a couple of T1 frigates, but there is a frigate online here for Team 2's Nomad as well, and it does look like, while my, you know, talking about the quality and whatnot, does look like Puis is back. It says, yeah, classic mistake. Forgot that a particular brand of potato waffle has unusual laxative side. That does not sound good. But hopefully he's all better and that his body has recovered. But we do see Nomander pushing on this eastern side. Same here with Seal Force, and these mixes have not been claimed by either team. But it does look like it's just kind of not risky, isn't the word that I would use, but since the Navy is just right here, if let's say Team 2's Nomander claims this part of the map, these mixes will definitely be under his control. And then obviously the reverse is true here for Team 1. But that force of Team 1 units outbound from the middle of the map here for Drumicus, pushing forward, giving his comm a little bit of room to breathe here. He is going for a T2 upgrade, and gun range going down here for Puis. Already has the speed, and everybody on the channel knows I would rather go for range and then speed first. Specifically also, if you're going for the sensor package, you can go for range and then sensor, or even, I guess the sensor wouldn't actually be that bad to go first. It'll go sensor then range. But anyway, range is definitely the farther superior upgrade, because if I can shoot at somebody without them being able to shoot back at me, that is huge, and I can just stay at that range and then just kind of walk them to their deaths, essentially. But in the east, Nomander does look like he's trying to inch himself a little bit closer, just slowly in the middle. Does look like there might be a pincer maneuver on the cards here. Nomander is not moving. He's just going to patrol there, but the comm of Puis has emerged from the water, going after Team 1's Drumicus' commander. He's going for that T2 upgrade. He's at, let's see, 60%. Let me zoom out a little bit so I can actually read that text a little bit better. And it does look like Puis is going to hide himself back in the water once again. T1 bomber kind of just hanging out. Looks like it might be trying to be hover bombing. And the units outbound from Drumicus be able to hide behind this little hillock here, and will be able to provide enough of coverage to be able to finish that upgrade on Drumicus' commander. But there are a lot of units here for Team 2 as well. that could easily be sent forth to deal with Team 1's comm as well. But it does look like he'll probably go for a PD. No, actually, he'll go for a radar first, then a PD. And then be able to give himself, again, more breathing room. But Puig comes back out of the water once again. And he's just kind of poking. He's not doing a lot of aggressive moves. He's kind of just sitting here shooting a couple shots and then coming back into the water and going back and forth. So if Team 1 builds up a couple of Torp Bombers, that's probably not going to feel good. But for now, it does look like Team 1 is kind of on the receiving end of a lot of fire. But there is an Utashala being built. And it does look like Puig will be able to hide himself behind that little hillock. But we have Team 1 Seal Force coming in to assist as well. And Nomander has fallen back a little bit, going for a PD. And does look like those forces outbound from Dreamcast are trying to at least move into that territory as well. But a drop in the south there by Team 1, completely just uprooting Team 2's entire, attack plan. All the units here for Puig have actually fallen back to help assist Team 2's cabinet with dealing with this push. Most of those Team 1 factories actually get control K'd and are trying to be reclaimed. It does look like it was a nice attempt. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mexes were taken out. Sorry, 7. And then a couple of those would look like those were energy storages or e-storages. That's annoying. It's not the worst thing that can happen, but it's always annoying, of course. Counter drop in the northwest here. Not a lot of units here, just a couple of T1 Lobos and a couple of Thams, and an engineer actually assists dealing with that as well. So Team 2 trying to employ the same tactic as Team 1, but didn't really go that well. Also, I don't think there was as much support or firepower brought to bear on that northwestern side. I do like this half wing, well, almost half wing of Spectre gunships here in the southwest here for Team 1's air player of Gingerbread Man. And he's moving in. I don't know what he's going to go after initially, but there's not a lot of AA in the mix. There are a couple of interceptors nearby, but it looks like they're on a flight path northward, and so these gunships will get a lot of work out of them. Couple of engineers on a transport. Those engineers are going to be dropped to scoop up that reclaim, but the Spectre gunships are inbound, and those interceptors have to turn around and come back. One Mex is gone. They're going to target that Team 2 Mex. They'll probably get that when interceptors are intercepting one another here, but Team 1 has the bigger amount of them, or larger amount of them, I should say. It does look like they were able to take out none of them. T2 PD is being spanned up here in the base here for Cabot. He has T3 Air online. Same here with Team 1 up in the northwest as well. So Gingerbread Man has access to T3 Air technology. We're trying to raid his air opponent for the time being to try to slow that movement towards that phase of the game. But again, T1 PD as well as T2 is being spammed up here. They're targeting the gunships first, target the things that can shoot at you first, and then target everything else. One gunship is down. Interceptors coming in actually from Team 2's Puig as well to assist. But it does look like all of those gunships have been dealt with that AA flak cannon. So not as much damage, I think, as Gingerbread Man wanted, but he did take out more mexes. Took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, I think. Maybe some of them were already killed off, but there are still 6 mexes that are void of any extractor on top of them, or mass points, I should say. So in essence, in terms of mass, Team 2 is still producing. The numbers keep changing back and forth. Maybe that was a T3 Mex that just came online. But it's about the same. So with all the raiding that Team 1 has done, what's that amounted to is Team 2 has to focus on their upgrades, which is good for them because it consolidates all of their mass. They don't spend it on the extra mass extractors and have to rebuild them, sort of thing. And it consolidates their mass income. Team 1 has been able to, again, do the same thing without a lot of raiding on their side of things, so not having to spend all that mass to recoup losses and all of that. But Team 2 definitely has a lot of potential to grow in terms of the mexes that they can build. But talking about in the northeast here, Nomad are facing down a nice horde of T1 tanks inbound here from the Seraphim commander of Dremokos. He's being forced back. He's actually not being forced back. He's the one forcing back Nomander. T1 BD trying to be spammed up. Couple of Mantis here to support. And there are a couple of interceptors, but they're mainly just probably take out a T1 bomber or gunship, whatever the case may be. T2 Navy is online here for Nomander here in the east, and T2 Navy also online here for Seal Force. Seal Force has dropped back here to his main base, or at least his main section of the map. And units coming in to try to intercept the units here from Team 1's Drumakas. There are a couple of PD online that kind of prevent some incursions over here. I would have loved to maybe see those units try to squeak on by, but there is an odd Ilshi in there here for Team 1 as well. So No Mander's calm. He does have gun, and he has 1 veterancy, close to 2. So he's not completely defendless, but Drumakas also on T2 gun and 1 veterancy, so does have a little bit more hit point advantage and region advantage as well. 26 versus 24 is nothing really to scoff at. I mean, it could matter, but the likelihood that it mattering isn't that high. It's more in the realm of if Drumakas had all of the upgrades and he was on 250 versus the 100 and I think it's 12 that the Cybrans go up to. Maybe it's 15 that they go up to. It's like 112, I think 120, somewhere in that one or like early 100s range. But Pui's coming out of the water once again. Kind of just trying being a very good distraction and annoyance here for Team 2. And that naval force here in the north, we have some cruisers in the Seraphim variety, so they have missiles on board. Team 2 needs to move up their cruisers because they have zappers on board so they can deal with missiles that are inbound. And Team 2 going for the sub-killers, not the sub-hunters. Don't know why the Cybrans have to be different and name their T2 sub-killers and everyone else is sub-hunters. But anyway, they just have to be different. We do see one, don't know how to pronounce it, actually 2 of them, destroyers online. So they do have torpedo defense on board. And with the amount of torpedoes coming out of these, I think it'll be overpowered in the sense that there's just not enough firepower to hold back those torpedoes from Team 2. But no side is in the lead in terms of Navy. It's mainly, one side maybe has one advantage, one side has the other advantage. That's kind of more of a, rock, paper, scissors kind of environment. But a lot of Salem's are being spammed up here by Nomander. He wants to get a lot of firepower brought to bear. And I do love this little alcove here that both these teams have access to. It forces both the incoming units and the outcoming units to be wedged further and further in, and the bigger units, it messes with that pathing. I do love the breaking out of the naval facilities here for both teams. Well, actually for one team, I should say. But I'm kind of surprised to not see one player or the other just line up their naval facilities on the edge. I mean, you could do that. It'd be a lot easier to deploy. But, it's just how one player decides to place them versus the other. T2 radar online here for Poise. Again, he's still trying to push with that commander, make the amount of mass and energy he spent for those upgrades worth it. He is getting some work done. He's at 1 veterancy, and he's kind of close to his second one. Still has about 700 more mass to go. But Team 1 is pushing once again. Drumakas, again, kind of just going back and forth here, trying to keep Team 2 back behind the middle line. Team 1, of course, has the upper plateau, which honestly, in my opinion, is more valuable because there's a quad mechs over here, 2 mexes, 2 mexes, and another a trimex. Trimex, and 4. So that's 10 mexes versus the 4 that maybe Team 1 would have. But, maybe they have that one, but maybe. So 5 if I count that one. This is definitely worth more mass. And the longer this goes on that Team 2 has this, the more economy that Kavak gets to be able to fuel that air force that he's currently building. And Team 1, it's barely ahead in that mass game. I have messed with the timers on when they switch. I've maxed them out. So you shouldn't see this constant swapping of stats. Well, at least for the mass one, I kind of ping it onto mass income once in a while. So you shouldn't see that constantly kind of flip between storage and reclaim and all of that. So I have found that setting as well. So in the mess of me trying to fix my quality issues, I've found some other settings that have been very useful. So it's kind of it's a blessing in disguise, I guess. But we do see Please being surrounded by a bunch of T2 and T1 units here for Drumakas. Drumakas trying to, again, bar the evacuation of Puise's commander, actually being shot by his own PD. That definitely does not help the situation. And Puise does get a rank inventory, just very crucially, though, gets back into the yellow after falling into the red, but Drumakas is in the high yellows, and he's going to walk that commander down. There is no escaping here for Puise. Puise saying, please help me, but I don't think his cries for mercy are going to go anywhere below 1,000 hit points. Below 500, below 2. Oh, one more shot will do it. There it is. There it is. Team 1 bombers were coming in to try to voice back Drumakas's commander, but that will be a kill here for Team 1 at almost 20 minutes in this game. Please, you only had to wait like 10 more seconds, but unfortunately this game becomes a statistic in somebody dying before 20 minutes. And it is now a 3v2 in favor of Team 1. And I feel like this is as good a time as any to cover what's going on so far. Team 1, 3 players left. As I noted, Team 2 had 2 players left. Cavat now at dual base. That's the air player having 2 bases. That's going to really skyrocket his ability to spam out those ASFs, bombers, gunships, whatever the case may be. And we also see Nomad going for air. So both players on Team 2 having T3 and having T3 Navy as well. So air and Navy both in the T3 stage. Don't see T3 land. I see a T2 that is upgrading into T3. We'll see how that goes on. In terms of mass income, both teams pretty close. Team 1 slight edge in that regard, about 10 or so mass. Reclaim totals, Team 1 slightly ahead, but not by much. And mass totals, Team 2 is ahead, which means they were leading for a little bit, but Team 1 is trying to, again, stretch that lead out. Team 1 being boxed in a little bit in the naval side of things in this northeast corner, but are trying to use the little missiles on board those cruisers to force back the Navy, or at least, keep them moving. In the southwestern corner, Team 2 owns that entirely. So, in terms of map control, I'd say about 60% for Team 2 and 40% for Team 1, just because Navy is very fluid. Dad joke, fluid. They're on water. Anyway. But it's really hard to quantify Navy unless somebody owns the entire water that Navy is on, or most of the water that they're occupying. So, just kind of one of those hard things to judge. We do see, again, a nice buildup of forces here for Team 1's Drumakas in the middle. Not wanting to push super far out, because if he extends too far, Team 2 has a jump-started player in terms of mass. He could easily be bombarded with either gunships or bombers or whatever he may build. He's going for T3, so maybe even some Harmingers will start to appear here. And it's starting to shape up to be a really good game. Again, if you haven't done so already and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all the support for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so very much. And again, like the video if you do. Share this video with anyone and everyone. And again, thank you so much for watching. We do see a couple of pseudo units being built here by Team 1 SEAL Force Navy player. We see that T2 sonar system being moved around to get a nice view on what's going on. But T3 Galaxy class is online with its dual tri-cannons, I should say. And that is a lot of firepower to bear. I do love, of course, the fact that the developers of the game just stuck the asset of the Zapper on board that thing and just called it a day. I mean, that's essentially what they did with the cruiser, if I can find that. Let's see here. Frigates. There are no cruisers in this mix. There's an aircraft carrier, and there's some counterintelligence boats, but I do not see a... Oh, no, there's one right here. Yep, there's the Zapper on board. Actually, it's very prominent. You can see it a lot easier at the top of that spire. We do see some ASF flying over here for Team 1. There is a Restorer. I think there were Restorers that came in a little bit ago, but they were taken out. Looks like 1 mech they were able to kill off, but to get a lot of mileage out of those. There are some, again, Ilshis and some Othams pushing this eastern side. A couple of PD, but Team 2, I think their weak spot right now is land. They don't really have a lot of defenses. No matter focusing, of course, a lot of his attention is on the naval side of things. And so if Team 1 wants to break through Team 2's defenses, I'd say the eastern side for Nomander, because there's not a lot of land support. There's more support being built in the middle with a lot of T3 facilities being spammed up. But I see that being Team 2's Achilles heel right now. They have the southwestern side on lock, and they have a T2 Navy UEF, which means those are cruisers, which is bad for over here, because that's going to be a lot of missiles raining in from that side of the map. But those Othams are still pushing in here from Jermacus, and they're not meeting really stickily any resistance. T3 air being built. Engineers, not what you want to build when there's land targets coming in. Not the best thing to build. And just a tip right there. But there are a couple of Harmingers. Actually, no, those are Those are Redeemers. Those aren't even Harbingers. They look like Harbingers. They just don't have a shield. And there is an Obsidian, which the Obsidians are good. You know, they have 2,700 hit points, including the shield capacity, but they're not the best for taking out T3 Optims that have, you know, 5,100, excuse me, but that's on one veterancy. T1, no, still T3 AA being spammed up, and all these T2 bombers, torpedo variety, not really going anywhere. Again, like I said, that land side of things really starting to pay dividends here for Team 1. Multiple mixes are being taken up by lightning tanks and Optims. I do love the mix of lightning and I wish there was one more shield for that group. But trying to split up the forces, divvy Team 2's attention up to kind of go over here and over here and over here to just annoy them as best they can. They won't be doing lasting damage. You know, they're not going to take out an entire base. But taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 mexes so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mexes so far. Am I going to get an 8th over here? It's going to be huge here. Nomader actually bringing his calm to bear against these units outbound here for Drimacus. Drimacus going to get a lot of mileage out of these units. So saw the writing on the wall and decided to take it while he had the chance. He's starting to build up his forces in the middle of the map once again. And T2 Torp Bombers over the top here, going after the cruisers. Yeah, that's probably what they should be going after. There is a lot of AA on board those command classes, but there's a lot of support here going after that as we speak. So, yeah, probably the cruisers are the better bet. And here come more bombers inbound as well. They don't get a lot of mileage out of them as well. But that's a command class that's just surrounded by some Zooey here. Oh, that's going to hurt there. It gets killed by Zooey. How does it feel to be killed up by pseudo-naval units? It's going to hurt your ego a little bit. Units are moving in from the north. Experimental has been completed here for Gingerbread Man. He is Aeon, which means he has built the Colossus. That is moving in here. The Chicken is coming online here for Team 1's Drimacus as well. He is starting to push his land forces as well. Just a couple of Team 1 Thams to, again, try to poke the front lines. Team 1 PD trying to be spammed up. They'll take out a radar. That'll be great for here for Team 1, blinding the opponent. Those Optims are disgusting. What? What is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about, but there is a nice wave, actually at least a couple squadrons at a minimum, of T2 Torp Bombers. Let me zoom in. There we go. Against that Galaxy class battleship, and there it receives thousands of hit points. Oh, it's just drops it almost. Oh, it is dropping into yellow. And with all of the AA being taken out, these bombers have a lot of room to move. I would, of course. Oh no, they're targeting the weaker one. That's definitely the way to go with that. You could have probably distributed orders and going after all three. They don't overload the damage or overpower it, whatever the term is. Anyway. We do see ASFs coming in for Cavat to assist with the taking out of the bombers. But again, 2 of the battleships are down. And the ASF not willing to engage, but there's more and more bombers coming out again from 2 different players on Team 1. Trying to again force back the Navy. I think Team 1's idea is if they can force the naval side of things to fall on Team 2, they can just start bombarding on the eastern side and then maybe come in from that eastern side with their forces. That would be, yeah, that would work. At least for the time being. The only issue is the longer this stays online, the longer it gets to produce T3 units, the harder that push through is going to be. They have their own T3 naval facility online. They produced their first battleship as well. Those have nukes on board. Very powerful unit, those Hathums for the Seraphim lineup for Navy. Very, very powerful. I mean, comparatively, we're talking about 44,000 hit points versus 49, so more hit points and nuke capable and TAC missile defense. So it's a very powerful unit. And there is one solitary Colossus pushing that front line here for Gingerbread Man. There is a Colossus being built here by Team 2. That is not going to finish. PD actually being spammed up as we speak to help assist in defensive measures. There's a couple squads or so of some Harbingers online, but there's not a lot of defenses. This Colossus, even if it is killed off, there is some T3 support in this. Not as much as I probably would have liked to see from Team 1, but there definitely is enough bombers coming in from Cavat as well to help assist. They're being attacked by those lightning tanks. PD opening up their banks to fire. And the Harbinger trying to body block the Colossus. Would not recommend. The Colossus can crush those units. I get what they're trying to do is run past them and try to just spin them around. ASF's coming to the top here for Team 1 again to solidify air control. And they've done that for the most part. It's not super definitive in one way or the other, but there is a decent amount of support more for Team 1 than there is for Team 2. We have a couple of Stingers coming online. Would not recommend these units by any means. They are not great gunships in terms of overall. But if you need them in a pinch, they work. It's just not great. I would definitely go for literally anything else in T2. Renegades, Bull-Thus, or Spectres. Spectres are really good. I really like the Spectre T2s. But the goal of the Harbingers was accomplished, getting behind that Colossus. And the Colossus for Team 1, focusing on taking out the Colossus that's kneeling, that's being built here by Team 2. And honestly, it could have gone after a whole lot of other things. That Colossus was never going to be built anytime soon. And I feel like that's just a mass dump for Team 1, for Team 2, from Team 1. We do see all those rest of those units have been pushed back as well. A couple of flak in the rear. But they're not going to get a lot of mileage. It's just Team 1 spam. It's not really anything of value. I mean, again, 1,000 of anything can kill anything. But I still would not recommend 1,000 T1 bombers unless you can somehow just manage to keep them alive till they get to their targets. So. And the ASF still pushing without any ground support. Well, there's some ground support, but Team 2 is pushing back. Nomander's commander being delivered to the front line. I don't know where he's going with that. Oh, he has... Oh, he has laser and cloaking and gun online. Ooh. Is he going to do the whole use the laser on the front line thing? They do know about the Colossus inbound from Team 1, so this... I mean, this might be the move that determines if Team 1 or Team 2... Well, if Team 2... You know, front line falls, that might be game right there. This is that instance where that all that is just can't even be read. But that Colossus is inbound. Let's watch and see this unfold. I don't think Team 1 can see him. No, they cannot see him because he's standing right here. So let's see. There we go. Let's see if this will work. Laser will be shown on their side of the map. It's their side of things, so they will see the laser running around. The Colossus focusing on taking out defensive measures, and there we can see the ground firing going after Nomander. He has to keep moving. The Colossus trying to constantly ground fire. He does get a little bit of AoE spread, but once he walks out of that little kind of purplish, bulge, that's it. But that Colossus goes down mainly to the comm of Nomander, and that's a reckless little man. He puts it on the front line. And he forces Team 1 back. That's 2 mass dumps there for Team 1. That is 2 Colossi. That is a... Oh! Whoa, that game lagged for a second. Oh, because it's loading all the stuff. I may need to resize the... I changed the sizing a little bit on the text for the mass, but it is very hard to read. Anyways, I tried to make it better for me to read, but it just didn't really work out. So probably we'll have to make that a little bit smaller. We do see ASF still building here on the northern side of things here for Team 2, or for Team 1 on Team 2 side of the things. There are a lot of Colossus. There are a lot of cruisers online, and those ASF definitely trying to be not in range of those cruisers because they will rip those ASF to shreds. But it does look like just a couple of bombers, those torpedo bombers inbound. Team 2 has pushed back in a great way. Dual command class aircraft carriers with 3 battleships online, and that solitary battleship for Team 1 will have to fall back. There's not a lot of support here that can really do a lot of damage. There's just a lot of Team 1 spam that can bottleneck all of this floaty spam, and the main target of that Hathum is can be ripped to shreds by those Colossus. Sorry, by the Galaxies. Getting the names right now. Team 1 has a chicken to bear as well. And Team 1 also gets an Omni, which they can see everything here. Once they get vision on that command. Actually, no, they should see him under here. Where is he? Oh, no, they don't. They have power to run it. They have power to run it. So they should. Oh, he's just right here. Okay, so he's probably barely out of range. Oh, yep. Oh, no, he is right here. So he's right there. And we even have a Omni till here, says from somebody from Team 1. They know that anything closer to that they will see. And I don't think Team 2 know. No, they know about it. So Team 2's Nomander definitely needs to be aware. Pings go down for Nomander to probably move and intercept. Fat Boy now online. That Colossus, to be fair, still being, actually a new one being built. That Colossus definitely not facing the right way. And Fat Boy Fire will now open up and trying to take out that chicken. Laser turns around, is able to target the chicken directly. And Nomander, is he moving in? He's falling back a little bit. Maybe he's thinking about that Omni, but there is a new Colossus fully, just built fresh off the assembly line. Fat Boy now under threat. Fat Boy has to retreat in the face of that chicken. And the chicken trying to dodge a little bit of those shots will not kill off that. Oh, no, just barely. But the Fat Boy stops. But the Fat Boy gets killed off because he stops for that brief second. Oh, that's going to hurt. And we even have spy planes coming online here for Team 1 to just ensure that they know where Team 2's Nomander commander is. And that Colossus is hunting him down. Oh, nope, he turned. Oh, nope, nope. Yeah, he's going after Nomander. Nomander, again, is cloaked. Team 1, they can see the laser. They cannot see the comm directly. But that laser eating to those hit points here for Team 1's Colossus. They probably should have held back a little bit and waited for Nomander to come back into range. But trying to pin him down. He's just moving too much. He is taking a lot of hit points, though. It's going to be close. Nomander drops into the red, gets a rank in veterancy, gets back into the yellow, and it's 108 without... no, he has nano on board because of the upgrade before cloaking. So it's 108 hit points a second. That's pretty close. 112, 114, 115, 108. That's not too bad. A lot of units inbound here trying to just spread out. A lot of flak here to deal with all the bomber spam from Team 2's Cabat. But that's a lot of bombers to chew through. Auto Eco Manager says Nomander. Don't know what he's talking about in that regard. But there are a couple of Authams getting in and taking a couple of T3 Mechs here in the southwest. They will get one of them at a minimum, and bombers coming in raining fire from the heavens. Second Mechs is going down. Third one might go down. There is enough bomber spam. It might be enough. No, not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4 Mexes are down on this western side. 5, 6, 7 Mexes. I don't count that one. 7 Mexes online because it's too far forward. But Team 2 is able to force Team 1 back at least at a minimum. Secondary radar coming online, and it's going for T3 Omni as well. So dual Omni online soon. He wants to ensure that he knows where that commander is, and he's not taking no for an answer. The cloaking is not going to work. I do see a donut on the build queue here for Team 1, so that'll be very interesting to see if he does build that. Did we see any, any sort of other spicy plays in terms of artillery or nukes? No, lots of missiles raining in. That's a lot of cruisers raining in those missiles from the west. We do see a crab coming online. That's definitely going to assist with defensive measures. Team 2 forced to play defensive, not only because, well, they're at that point in the game when they have to, but also because they lost a player. Not as much APM, not as much ability to get, okay, you micro navy, you micro land, you micro air kind of thing. They kind of have to do double to triple duty depending on what they choose to do. But with now a Fat Boy, a Colossus, and soon to be a Crab coming to that front line, Team 1 is going to be forced back. And that just might be enough to keep Team 2 out of danger. Again, all of the mass is, oh wow, that's a lot of numbers. I definitely need to make that go smaller. But 158,000 mass currently still on the map, and most of it is, you can see all the big orange and yellow and red. All of that, I'd say about half at a minimum on Team 2's side of the map, and very well in Team 2's territory. Team 1 gifting mass, quote unquote gifting mass. You can see that reclaim total going up pretty high, almost 100,000 more mass than their opponents, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Team 2 is not producing as much mass as Team 1 per second, but with the additional reclaim, they're keeping pretty well in lockstep. 1.33, 1.4, which is 1.34 3-5. So essentially it's about even in terms of mass totals. And 4 Hathums online in the north versus 2 Galaxy? 3 Galaxy? That's not looking good. If Team 1's Seal Force does keep 1 or 2 of these Hathums back and just load some nukes, that could be deadly here against Team 2. But he is bringing those to bear. I don't know if he has what, 400? He could probably spare 1 of them to load a nuke. Team 2 doesn't have a defense for it on this eastern side, so that could be huge for taking out the T3 naval headquarters. We'll see if they end up doing it or not. Do we see any plans to end the game? Duke coming online here for Team 2. We do see some shared investment here, both from Cabot. Mostly it's from Nomander, but some of it is from Cabot, which is interesting because Cabot has more mass than Nomander, but anyway. Interesting that Nomander's funding a lot of mass into that project. Fat Boy coming online here as well here for Cabot. He's just spending mass right now. What's his bar look like? Not great. Does not look great. Again, if anybody knows how to fix that, please let me know. I don't have a lot of time to do tweakings. I'm going to record the next one right after this one, essentially. So you'll see the same settings between the 2 videos. But again, between this video and next video, please let me know. Oh, and also the you'll see it actually. You already will see it before this at the 1,000 subscriber special video. But technically, you've already heard this, but just for reiteration, can't change the settings until after I get back. Which, you know, in your time, now that you're watching it, is technically a day and a half, roughly. It's like a day and 12 hours or something. No, that is half a day. A day and 14 hours, I think. Something like that. But Donut is moving in. We do see 3 Colossi sitting here. Some of them out of the water, some of them not out of the water. Kind of, you know, AT&T raising the bar kind of thing, if everyone remembers that commercial. We do see that Donut moving in. ASF's trying to get in range here for Team 2. ASFs from Team 1 do engage to clear the way for that Donut to move in. You can see that engagement, and the laser is activated, and it does look like Team 1 has the advantage in air. A lot of it being spy planes in that next set of stuff that has been produced. But that Donut, not really a lot of AA to contest with, and still has its shield online. This could be huge for Team 1 for bringing them back into the game. He's going after the air headquarters. Oh, it's dropping into the yellow. Oh, he doesn't finish it. There's a pigeon right here. There's a pigeon right there. You can blow it up. What are you doing? Oh, it lands. How much cascade will it get? Oh, it will take out everything. Look at that. Just this one. It cascaded onto that one and killed that. Ooh. That's got to hurt. The air grid for Team 2 is wiped out. There's a couple of air facilities left, but there's not a lot. Nomander has a small air grid, small being 2. But there are a couple of air facilities still online, but still, the air power for Team 2 has been severely diminished. The main amount of AA actually in the west, and has done a great amount of work in forcing this line back. We even see missiles reaching back here, actually being drawn by those volcanoes, but I don't think that amount of volcanoes will be enough to stop the absolute horde that is, oh, I don't know, like 25? 20. 20. Yeah, 20 cruisers online. I want to make sure that was all of them. But Team 2's Navy has been severely pushed back in this eastern pond. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, we had 4, but 3 Galaxy-class battleships online. A 4th one being built very, very quickly here. And a 5th one as well. A Crab online as assisting with defensive measures. But it is not going well here for Team 2. But it does look like a lot of the battleships have been taken out. A couple of them are actually aircraft carriers. They look very similar from long range, or from very much zoomed out. Closer up, obviously, they look different. One's a lot more flatter with a couple of spires versus the one. Oh, where'd he go? There he is. One for the battleship is very more like an arrowhead. A lot more spaces, a lot more stuff on it for obvious reasons, because it's a battleship versus essentially a command. I was going to say cruiser, but carrier. But the attack in the middle of the map commences, but 1, 2, 3 Colossus already down. Large T3 army mixed in with a couple of T1 and T2 as well. Does grab a Harbinger unfortunately there for that guy. But three Fat Boys, of course, with Nomander. Team 1, they know where he is. It's very risky. They know he's risking it, though. He's trying to stake his life on this front line. If this falls, that might be in here. The Duke does get completed. Second one is under construction, and Nomander just going to run into it. He has, again, 38,000 hit points, dropping very, very quickly here into the red, but kills off both of the Colossus with some Fat Boy support. And all of the T3 units trying to get in range of Nomander. Sub 7,000 hit points, just barely. And that is close. He is risking it for the biscuit is what he's doing, and now that amount of work is paying off. He's gotten 107... he's being body blocked by a Harbinger. 107 kills, 24,000 mass killed. And there is a Colossus that came in from the east. It looks like it may be coming from the water or something. It's actually outbound from Seal Force. And it's coming in for this air grid here for Nomander. But there are, again, 1, 2, 3 Fat Boys. 2 of them en route. Couple of gunships as well. That Colossus is dropping very, very quickly. Going for the P-Gens. That's definitely the best move in that regard. The T3 Air Headquarters is still online, however. And now going to target the Fat Boys. And that's not going to get anywhere. And there it goes. Second Tsar is in the south, and Team 2, again, doesn't really have a lot of defenses online. Has a couple of Redeemers over here. The air grid being rebuilt. The T3 air headquarters is built, of course. But T3 AA is being spammed up. They don't want to deal with another donut. And it is edging out the map. Look at this. Almost half of it is actually black due to the fact that it's technically off screen or off the map. But there's a couple of AA facilities built, but it's actually going for Cabot's commander. Cabot, he's underneath the shield coverage. Will it be enough? Barely. It was barely enough. Cabot almost died to a crash damage, but I mean, I think even if he did take that full bear, but Gingerbread Man control Ks. I think he wanted that. His air grid has been almost completely wiped out. I think his Tsar was the last, essentially the last moat of resistance here from him. But with one one Duke, second one almost half done. It's looking like Team 2, the defensive player in this game, defensive team in this game, is starting to again force their way out. They've been kind of hemmed in for a while, at least in the middle and in the east. It's been back and forth for the naval side of things, but it does look like there's a lot of spam here, a lot of engineers, not a lot of offensive capabilities. There are 3 aircraft carriers with 1 Athum. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Galaxy class battleships with 1 command class. Actually, I think that's 7. But there are a couple of spam here from the west, outbound here from Drumacus, but that amount of force. Those look like that chicken. Yep, chicken died on top of a crab. That's definitely an interesting image there. Does look like the spam is trying to go for those naval facilities. I think the T3 naval headquarters will be fine. A lot of that was actually brought back to deal with this. The Othams can hide it underneath the surface of the water, but I don't think they'll last very long, unfortunately, here for Team 1. And with 3 Fat Boys and a Colossus leading them here for Team 2, that is starting to be deadly. Reclaim currently reclaimed at the current moment, almost doubling Team 1's reclaim here is Team 2, almost 300,000, and total mass accrued. Again, it's about staying the same, just due to mostly that reclaim. But now that Team 1 has lost their first player of the game, they have an Al-Wasab bomber online, but they don't have air controlled. A lot of spy planes. Not air control, that's just spy planes. It's going straight for that line of fatties, and there is another Colossus inbound here. It's going to land on the edge, going to take out a lot of Redeemers. Oh, they're going to walk right into it. Oh, I felt that. Ow. I definitely felt that here. 48 minutes in this game, and it is not stopping. Team 1 is not giving up in the way, says Nomander. What? I mean, what's? Oh, the shield. Oh, for the P-Gen, it was in the way. Looks like it was just shifted a little bit up. But that second Duke is almost online, and with 2 Dukes, a monkey guarding it, and a reclaim again constantly here. That first donut already reclaimed, the second one being reclaimed as we speak. Team 2, I mean, they have a couple of SMDs online. I feel like Team 1 could have gone for that nuke, but just didn't decide to go for it. Massive amounts of port bombers are en route to go after that Galaxy class. But even if they take 1 out, they have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to chew through. plus the command class, plus all of the facilities. There is a chicken over here, but it's severely wounded, and it will die almost on top of where the other chicken died. All of those Galaxy classes focusing fire on that. Command class does go down, and this Galaxy up here does get taken, almost gets taken out, of course, by those spam units, those T1 hover units. But I think now that there are a ton of battleships being brought to bear here, I think Team 1's time in the Navy is coming short. Again, they're just constantly being built. Team 2 is not stopping in that regard. Fat Boy's pushing the middle. The chicken under, the Colossus under the water can't take any hits, but it's still under threat here. Team 2 definitely knows about it, so it's not something that they're like, oh, we didn't know it was there. And ASFs come in, get in behind of that bomber. Oh, and they take it out. Oh, I hate to see those things taken out like that. It's just, if you're gonna die, if it's gonna be taken out, take it out in a blaze of glory. Just goes to show a squadron or so of ASFs can take out a T4 experimental bomber. Chicken sitting on the coastline, you know, all he needs is a little lawn chair and a umbrella and a nice little drink, and he's just having some fun at the beach, but he's receiving some artillery fire. That's never good. Some Gunthers are firing on him. And again, those artillery, those T3 varieties, the longer range ones, are getting in underneath the shields here for Team 1's Drimicus. He has a decent amount of T2 mass fab surrounding T3 P-gens, one of the versions of mass fab farms in this game. But, I mean, they're not shielded, so I think a strike here will probably kill both of them. I don't remember what the damage is for the volatile explosion. Oh, no, a little bit to the left there. And the shields are kind of holding. They're not completely holding, but they're not, they're not out of capacity. Oh, no, it's a little bit to the left. Yeah, it's a little bit to the left. This one might be it. No, that one's too far to the south. I'm starting to be able to predict where the artillery's landing. Oh, that actually was far westward more than I thought. Anyway, in the naval side of things, again, it's just being pushed back. There are a couple of Hathums online back here, but again, 1, 2. Oh, look, another Galaxy was taken out. 1, 2. Actually, another Galaxy. Wow, okay, never mind. Team 2 had 8 Galaxies, and they went down to 4 very, very quickly. Or 5, 5 then 4. Don't really know what happened there. Whoa, that's a lot of numbers on my screen. Gonna stop pushing that button. But it is now 51 minutes in this game. I think I'm gonna speed it up just a tiny bit, just because it's a lot of back and forth on the naval side of things. Artillery fire is never good to just sit there and watch. It's not compelling. It's like, oh, it's being attacked. There is a nuke online, and it isn't loaded, and it's being targeted by Team 2. And shields are trying to be spammed up to defend it, but I don't think it's gonna make it. I might. T3 shields are popping back online, and Team 2 is pushing on the land side of things. So again, 1, 2, 3 Fat Boys, and a Colossus wants to pop its head out of the water, but there are 2 Colossi waiting for him to just be like, hey, you should come have some fun. And Team 1 spam being built down here, some torp launchers. It's either going to die to Colossus or die to Torps, one or the other, but it's going to die, essentially. Again, Team 2 being pushed back here in the east side of things. It's very ebb and flow. Neither team really getting an entire control over this northeastern Navy. Artillery is raining in. They're shielding. There's a lot of shielding around that nuke now, but it's not really being loaded. It is, but it's passively loading very slowly. Colossus does peek its head out of the water, is able to laser at least some of that Colossus's hit points. But now 3 of those lasers are brought to bear, and that Colossus is going nowhere. Will die in the pond where he was, well, not where he was spawned, but where he decided to lay his head. Drop bombers being built up here in the middle here against Team 2. And again, even if those strap bombers take out 1 or even 2 of the Fat Boys, the fact that Team 2 has 3 Colossi and a bunch of T3, actually that's a lot of T3 Redeemers, a couple of Harbingers, but they're all Redeemers. Strap bombers coming and going after that Fat Boy to the west. They will take out, they won't. Another pass will do them in, but I don't, nope, they're not going in for another pass. Well, they might. It might be enough. Artillery takes out a T3 Mechs. That's gotta hurt. That was almost I think that was a direct shot too. But Colossi moving in. Okay, there come those bombers coming in for another pass. They will take out 1 Fat Boy, but again, one is not enough. They need to take out all three and all of the Colossus. But all the Colossus have to do is just do a control move or a control attack move. And that's it. That's all they have to do. And I love this. The Colossus split up. I'm just going to bring it back down to 0. They split up, one going in one direction, 2 of them going in the other direction, the 2 being diverted over here to this chicken. And that's a lot of Team 3 support as well. That hit points are falling very, very quickly. Nuke launching. Actually, it's outbound from Team 2. That is a small nuke icon. Yep. Definitely going to have to get that fixed. That is a very, very, very small nuke icon. I do not like that. But second nuke launch, this time from Team 1. It does end up being launched. And it's going for... That's not going to go anywhere. Nuke, of course, is launched. Actually, that's a second. There are 2 nuke launches online for Team 2. But that nuke is going to land here for Team 1. On Team 1. Team 2 is not going to receive a nuke due to the SMD coverage. There it goes. Will it get SEAL Forces Commander? He's kind of being body blocked. There he goes. Kaboom. Nice little AoE explosion. And the second comm on Team 1 does get killed up by a Colossus almost simultaneously. And that is a win here for Team 2. And the nuke lands? Was that a... What? Was that a secondary nuke that landed? Anyway. That is a win here for Team 2. Everyone played a very great game. But I do think one of the failings of Team 1, again, it's a chicken and the egg kind of scenario where if you don't attack your opponent will build up. So you got to attack them at some point. But how much do you attack with them and not give them mass kind of thing? And I think Team 1 didn't attack with them enough. Also, with Nomander having the cloaked laser, essentially the telemazer without the teleporting, the cloaking mazer. Cloaking mazer? Maybe that's what it's called. Commander, that definitely saved Team 2's hide, especially the middle of the map. Had this fallen or this fallen in the east, it would have been very hard for Team 2 to come back. They would have been fighting a losing battle, like a boat with a bunch of holes in it, filling up with water. Eventually, the boat's going to sink. The benefit here for Team 2's Nomander is Team 1 put a lot of pressure here, but they kept this, this main facility online. It was buried back and forth. It was kind of favoring Team 1, then favoring Team 2. But between Nomander holding Navy and him with that, very risky laser play, I think he barely ekes out the MVP against Kavak. Kavak got dual base, which was, it's nice to have from Puyi's. Built a nice group of cruisers in the southwest so that Team 1 really couldn't use their air that way. But two donuts still got by, so... And it worked, but it didn't really work. And still, he did a great job holding off that front line as well with the assistance of Nomander. Well, it's a teamwork effort. It's a team effort. Teamwork effort. It's a team effort. But I do think Team 2's Nomander ekes it out just a tiny bit. But again, let me know down in the comments how you felt about that. Please, again, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And I will see all of you in the next one.